Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I didn't do a video yesterday because I came down with a relatively bad cold. I am okay, but it's just a bad cold and I'm having to take it kind of easy. But there's some things that you have to do no matter what, and one of them is making sure your plants have enough water. And I'm in the process of hardening these vegetables off to be able to put them outside. That just means continued exposure to the daylight and the temperatures of the outdoors. So I'm going for an hour and a half today. I've kind of been doing this for, I don't know, maybe 4 days now. But also there was a few things that haven't really been doing well where I had them in the grow room. I think they probably just aren't meant for humidity. And that is the honey nut squash, the cucumbers, and tomatillo. And so it's not too late to pull those babies out, put them in a different container, and start hardening them off too. This one looks pretty rough, but I think it'll make it. Time is on our side. I recently saw a post that said that you need to be seeding cucumbers every 4 to 6 weeks because they only produce so much and you just need the next succession going. So with that thought in mind, when I'm done with this video, I'll go ahead and add some cucumber seeds to this. But you can see that our eggplant is doing really well and our onions in the middle. We've got some some tomatoes over here. We have some basil, we have some quinoa, and we have some amaranth back there, and a whole bunch of quinoa. Actually more quinoa than I planned, but maybe that's a good thing in light of what's going on in this world. More food is more good, right? You just got to take care of it and get it to grow. So my planters that have struggled a little bit, come on, adjust, are these ones up here. They're in the back. So even though I have a grow light on them, let's see if I can get this to go down. There we go. Even though I have grow lights on them, some of these outdoor plants haven't really been thrilled back here. Some thyme back here is doing good. And our rich sweetness melons never came up, but I think they need a constant temperature of at least 70. You can see I have a relatively bad fungus gnat issue going on. But check this out. This mosquito zapper is attracting them. And so we're getting some help from this up here. And then I have another one down here that my friend Julie recommended. And this was actually full of the bugs on the bottom, right? You put a little glue trap in the bottom. It's unbelievable how many bugs were in there. So the other thing I'm doing to take the humidity down just a little bit is when I'm hardening these off is I'm opening this door to let some fresh air in. And I have a gauge back here. I think it's called a hydrometer. Anyway, it tells me what the temperature is and the humidity is, so I'm able to monitor it. Our green tea plants are doing well. We still have our cuttings that we're trying to root, an apricot and 2 figs. This fig back here looks promising. I see a little bit of green there. What's promising about this apricot is it didn't develop any mold. It hasn't shriveled, so I feel like that has a chance. We're just going to be very patient. And this is where I put some kumquat seeds, and I was reading those can take 4 to 6 weeks to actually come up. So again, we're going to be patient with this too, right? I cold stratified those seeds. I don't know that they necessarily need it, but a lot of fruit tree type plants do need to be cold stratified. You can see our radishes are still thriving in here, and our Swiss chard is doing great. The beans, I'm not so sure they're happy, but they might be a little too big for that container. It's okay, it's all a great experiment, right? And we got some lettuces here. The Norwegian spinach seems to really do well both in this grow room environment and outdoors, so I recommend that for a desert climate. We have our strawberry seeds in here, keeping this moist every day because they need to be moist. Patience works, and it seems like these little kind of like heirloom wild strawberries have the best potential. Hey, Destroyer Gaming, thank you so much. I appreciate you complimenting me with that. It's a learning experience here. I'm originally from Alaska, and it's a totally different growing environment. So I'm also the student in this case. Over here we have our eggplants, which are ready to put on fruit. I think it's just a little too humid for them because the pollen doesn't distribute. And I've been doing the paintbrush technique, which I also do when the plants are outside, but it hasn't worked in here, and it's probably because the pollen's too sticky, but those plants will be ready to go outside as soon as it's a little bit warmer at night. And our zucchini, so this is what I'm going to do. The zucchini's been really happy in this grow room, and I know zucchini likes more humidity because it just really doesn't do well outdoor here in our summer. So I'm actually going to move the zucchini up here to these baskets, and that might make it easier for me to pollinate, because without the bees in here, I'm going to have to take the flowers and manually do the pollinating. Hey Lee, thanks for joining the channel. Good morning. Up here, the tomatoes seem to be pretty happy. I'm probably going to be taking some of these larger tomatoes, like these Thorntons, and putting those outside. I'll put them in different containers to hard them off. I kind of want to get them used to being able to have about 5 hours of sunlight before I plant them in the ground. Plus, sometimes also in March, we can get a cold snap. So I don't want to be in too much of a hurry just because we're having a surprisingly warm February here. But I did put some more cherry tomato seeds out here. Oh, thank you so much, Lee. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I did put more cherry tomato seeds in here because those cherry tomatoes have thrived. And this is a unique type of cherry tomato. It's actually meant to be in a hydroponic system. It's a determinate species that does not get too big. That's really important. These here are not determinate species. And so when I'm able, I will start hardening these off too. But it was a great environment to start growing them, right? And you can see our sweet potato is vining all over this room. It's pretty cool, actually. Kind of love it. And we have peppers over here. And so I have a mixture of all kinds of like hot peppers. This is like a Thai chili. And I'm trying to grow pineapples in here. Let me move my step ladder for a moment so I can show you these better. I've never grown a pineapple before, and I may have skipped an important step. I've kind of learned some new information, but we're not going to give up. This one back here, the first one I put in, looks pretty happy, but I'm going to try to grow a pineapple in here. I have a feeling I have just enough room. I didn't realize they get as big as they do, but of course they have to grow for that to happen. But hot peppers and pineapples are companion plants. And this hot pepper back here, see if you can see this. See if I can get a picture on the bloom. Come on, where to go? There we go. It's blooming since I put the pineapple in. So if nothing else, these peppers seem to like the pineapple being added to their grow environment. So we'll see. So far the peppers and tomatoes are very promising in the space. And I have some ginger over here. If you watch some of the earlier streams, I've advised not to use dirt that has wood in it in an indoor area that has humidity, right? Because they just sprout mushrooms. I've been pulling up mushrooms. Doesn't hurt anything, right? Just pull them up and get rid of them. And let's see here. So I took out the honey nut squash. I took out the tomatillo. I planted some more tomatillo seeds. I love tomatillos. I took out the cilantro that I had in here. I still have some parsley in here. The parsley actually looks happier than the cilantro, so I may try to let that grow in here. I might put it in a different container though. But basically that's just a little update, and I'm not trying to slack off. I just came down with a bad cold. So thank you so much, Destroyer Gaming and Lee Hanford, for tuning in today. Appreciate the support of my channel. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.